Hey everyone, a very warm welcome to this class. Hey Nitika, hey Prasad, Prachi, Saloni, good evening all of you. Hey Dilip. Hello again, yes. Oh, you attended the timetable session. Good to know that. Hobbies and crafts. What's your name, bacha? Hey Prasad, Bharti, Suman. Trendy cuisine. Punya, good evening all of you. So yes, we want all of you to pass the exam with flying colors, and that's why we have a mission, that is Mission Midterms. So why are we having this session? Why is this session one shot being placed here for all of you? See, it's not the quantity that matters, it's the quality. So what we've done is we've sorted everything for you, all the important topics from this chapter. In next 30 to 40 minutes, you will be able to revise, learn, and practice. Practice, why I'm saying is because, I'll keep telling you the important questions in between. Yes, absolutely, guys. So you will understand all the topics in this one session. Everything that's important from the exam point of view, it's going to be here right now. In this session, in next, say about 40 minutes, you will be able to master this chapter. And these are the topics that you just cannot miss from the exam point of view. And that makes it very important session. After a long time, yes. So a lot of you were asking, कि matter in our surroundings का one shot कब होगा? So there you go, and here we are. Hey Kia, I'm doing really well, thank you. Hey Shivansh, Salman Amir. Yes, Simpu Yadav. Alright, so fatafat say give me a green signal that everything is working fine so that we get started. You know the drill, सब पता है तुम्हें. You know audio check करना है, video check करना है, PPT check करना है. ये smiley face अगर दिख रहा है clearly, so give me loads of thumbs up, loads of smileys. I am doing really well. I hope you all are doing extremely well and you people are all set for your exams. Yes. So guys, be very attentive because every topic that is going to be there, that is very important from the exam point of view. I'm restating the same thing so that you understand that this is something that needs to be reinforced. इनमें से कोई टॉपिक नहीं छोड़ेंगे हम एग्जाम के लिए. वी विल नॉट लीव एनी सिंगल टॉपिक फ्रॉम दिस लिस्ट ऑफ टॉपिक्स दैट आई एम अबाउट टू डिस्कस विद ऑल ऑफ यू. यस सुमन, थैंक यू. हे मोनालिशा, हे नवनीत. Alright, I can see you have given me loads of green signals. So, let's get started. But before we dive straight into the session, I hope all of you have registered for ANTHE. We have this opportunity for all of you, but it's up to you to grab it, right? You know it, that it's going to be very beneficial. I am sure you must have heard from your seniors or your friends. There is something that is, there's something very good that's coming out of this. And if you're actually aspiring to be a doctor or engineer, you know what to do. The link is there in the description box. Quickly go ahead, register yourself, and we will be supporting you at every step. We are here to nurture your talent. But वो first step तो देखो आपको उठाना पड़ेगा. So go ahead, and not just, going to NASA, a trip to NASA. That's like something very great. But even if you're not able to do that, there are a lot of cash rewards. There are a lot of other benefits, 100% scholarship, up to 100% scholarship you can get. You can get all India rank. You can actually understand where you stand. That's very important, isn't it? Because see, right now, we are giving school-based exams, but eventually, we would be competing with everybody around us. You have this platform here to actually give you that kind of exposure, that kind of, this entrance exam will actually tell you where you stand at an all India level. So go ahead. And for preparation, we are giving you the mock test as well. You can see the dates, online, offline. Dates are being mentioned over here. You can enroll for free. And yes, this is for grade 7 to grade 12. Absolutely right, all of you. हाँ बिल्कुल Time is running out. I keep telling you this. Car I-10. Okay. And yes, something very important, guys. I was telling you that we want you to pass the exam with flying colors. So what happens during an exam is important, but what happens before that is equally important, and that's why we have a list of study advice. We have a list of different types of sessions for all of you. So we've got chapter revision, exam focused questions, mock test, one shots, doubt solving questions, doubt solving sessions, all kinds of sessions, because we are in this race together. The race to ace the exam, the race to get 100%. We are in this together, and if we'll aim high, we'll definitely be reaching great heights, isn't it? Yes, Navneet. Ankita ma'am had already taken the session. Syllabus was being discussed. You can always go back, watch the session to understand it better. कहाँ मिलेंगे PDF notes? बच्चा PDF notes आपको मिलेंगे Telegram पे. The link is there in the description box. I hope you all are there. Yes, Nitika. Oh, that's great, Prakhar. So good to know that. And yes, on popular demand, we are back with another exciting thing for all of you. Mini learning program is free for the first 1,000 users every week if you use the code YT first. So I know a lot of you were sending us so much of love, so much of good wishes, so much of good comments the last time we came up with MLP. So that's why we are back, and this time it's for the first 1,000 users. So that's why I'm repeating this, that bacha, make sure that you're one of them. Don't think कि अभी कर लेंगे. You never know the speed at which everybody is registering for this. The link is there in the description box. Go ahead, use this code YT first and be taught by India's top teachers. Hey Mansa, a very happy birthday बच्चा. Yes अक्षय, बिल्कुल हिंदी में भी बोलेंगे. Oh, it's happening. Good to know that, Prakhar. August में. Yes. So see, whenever you have some query, right after the session gets over, you post your queries in the comment section and they would definitely be addressed by the team. Yes, for sure. Any query when it comes to mini learning program, definitely go ahead, post your queries there. Hey Navneet, I'm doing really well. Thank you. And I hope we all are ready to cover matter in our surroundings in a single go and revise every important topic from this chapter right now. Let's do it together, guys. So 4 different topics, 4 different types of topics, I would say, we have divided this chapter into. 4 important topics hai. The first very important topic is what is matter. Yes, but just syllabus for ANTHE, you have to go back and watch the video. It's already there on the channel. Good evening Akshay. Now the first thing is to know about matter. Now further, you need to know about definition of matter, classification and characteristics. We'll start with the definition that you people will tell me quickly. Chalo, फटाफट से बताओ matter होता क्या है यार? What is matter? We have to revise everything quickly, right? So that means you people have to be very attentive, very interactive. Purnima, first one to answer. Purnima is like a rock star. उसने फटाफट से answer कर दिया that matter has mass and volume. So yes, matter has mass, it occupies space, and it can be perceived by our senses. Now, fatapat se tell me, look around and tell me anything around you that you can consider as matter. So this way I'll understand whether you've understood what matter is or not. Anything that's around you that's matter, TV, bed, table, biscuits, books, and this way I'll get to know what's around you. Mobile, ear, pencil box, tab, pen, biscuits. A lot of you are having biscuits. Table, chair, yes, all these things are matter. Somebody was saying everything around us is matter. If everything is matter, then what's not matter? Quick example in the chat box. Tell me what is not matter. We know what matter is. Now you'll tell me what cannot be considered as matter. Emotions, feelings, sound. अरे water तो matter यार, water क्यों लिख रहे हो? Thoughts, anger, sadness. Yes, correct. Love, hate. Correct, all of you. Time, thoughts, feelings, all these things are not matter. So well done. We know what is matter and we know what is not matter. So if this question comes in the exam, you know that 1 mark is in our pocket. Now the next important thing is classification. Now the classification can be given in terms of early classification and modern classification. कैसे करा? Early classification में कैसे करा? You will tell me and then of course I'll reveal the answer. According to Indian philosophers, matter is kind of made up of some basic elements. RSB has written fire, water, earth, wind. Acha. 5 elements Punya says. Agni is one of them. Navneet says. Fire, air, water, sky. You're saying 5 elements but you're stating 4. Fire, water, earth, wind, sky. Still waiting. Still waiting for the correct answer. Fire, water, earth, sky. Acha. Alright. Let me tell you the Panch Tattva, 5 elements that are there. It's water, sky, earth, fire, air. Now I told you one easy way to remember. I said you just have to remember this. You have to remember that water, that starts with W, keeps us safe. जब तक पानी है तब तक हम safe हैं यार. Water keeps us safe and this is actually easy way to remember all the 5 elements. W for water, S for sky, A for air, F for fire and E for earth. Bas, you will remember all the elements. This is the early classification. Moving on to the next one. Modern classification. Now, matter can be classified by physical nature of matter and the chemical nature of matter. Physical nature, we will be discussing today, solid, liquid, gases, right? Chemical nature, we would be doing in this grade itself, but maybe a little later. Absolutely. So, physical nature karenge discuss hum and let's get started with this one. Physical nature of matter. So what's the first thing that comes to your mind when I say the physical nature of matter? अच्छा हिंदी में बोलते हैं पहली चीज क्या आ रही है आपके दिमाग में जब हम बोलते हैं physical nature of matter? Yes, carbo. 5 states. Particles. Vartika says particles आता है दिमाग में. Yes, correct. Purnima is also saying that. अरे वर्तिका सही आंसर था. So yes, when we talk about matter, it's made up of particles and these particles are tiny in nature. Now guys, pay attention. I want all of you to go through activity 1.1 and 1.2 that's given in your book because this is something that can be asked in your exam to understand the particulate nature of matter. And to understand the fact that particles of matter are really small. So for these two, there are activities in your book. So I'll keep telling you what you need to refer. So activity 1.1, 1.2 हम definitely देखेंगे ताकि हमें particulate nature भी पता चले matter का and the fact that particles of matter are really tiny. They are very small. So this tells us about the physical nature of matter. So there you go, you know about the classification, early B and modern as well. Next very, very important thing is characteristics. You will quickly tell me any one characteristic of matter that you remember. Akshay, first one, before I could finish my question, they attract each other. Acha. They are constantly moving, Punya says. Yes, Navneet, definitely. It has volume, nahi bacha. That won't be a characteristic. That is what matter is, right? They are very small, yes. Spaces, correct. So particles of matter have spaces between them. They are constantly moving and they attract each other. Again, what is important is the activities. In the exam, they can ask you a question based on this topic, that is, with the help of an activity, explain the characteristics of matter. They might give you one characteristic and ask you to support your answer with an activity. In any case, you need to know some examples for each. Say, for example, the first one, particles of matter have space between them. Simple activity we take sugar, we add it to water, and we realize that the level of water is not going up. That means there were spaces between the particles of water. And in between those spaces, particles of sugar have, taken that place. Particles of matter constantly moving. Just spray a perfume, spray a deodorant, and you'll be able to, smell it from afar as well. Or maybe the kitchen food that we smell. That is again because the particles are constantly moving. Particles of matter attract each other. So if there's a stream of water and you try to cut it, you can't really cut it. You, in a way, redirect it. Why? Because the particles attract each other. Now, these are three very, basic activities, basic examples that I've told you. But you can go ahead and, mention so many others. Yes, Navneet, that's a very important question that would be taken up in one of our sessions. Don't worry about this. We would be discussing all the important exemplar questions. बिल्कुल cooling effect discuss करेंगे. Absolutely, guys. Now, there's another very important topic in the chapter, that is diffusion. This is super important. Quickly tell me, what is diffusion? You have heard about this term. Intermixing of particle. Poonima is a rock star. बहुत फटाफट reply आ रहा है पूर्णिमा के. Yes, so intermixing of particles on their own is known as diffusion. A lot of questions based on diffusion can be asked. For example, they can ask you, how are aquatic organisms able to survive underwater? You know that the gases diffuse in water. That's how they're able to survive. Or maybe, they can ask you, why is the rate of diffusion of liquids more or higher as compared to solids? Again, you can, in a way, mention the answer based on the spaces. Yes, a lot of diffusion questions could be asked. Hey, do you think diffusion and temperature are kind of, they are connected in some way? Yes, Nitika, correct. क्या लगता है? A quick yes or no in the comment section. I see Pushpati, Nitika, Shah Payal saying yes. Dipanshu saying yes. Ashaj. Harry Potter. There's somebody named Harry Potter in the chat box. Okay. Karbo. Reepu. सब yes बोल रहे हैं. Directly proportional बोल रहे हैं. बिल्कुल सही. चलो, let's do one thing. Let's observe an activity. Some interesting activity over here. So, let's see the effect of temperature on diffusion, if there is an effect or not. So for this, we have a glass which is filled with water. And when we add food color to this, you will see beautiful patterns are being formed. Can you see? It's looking so wonderful. But is diffusion faster in hot or cold water? Let's figure out. And for that, we have some candies. Okay, we've placed the candies in two plates. In the first one, we've added hot water. In the second one, we've added cold water. And now the race begins. The race to, move towards the center of the plate. Have a look what's happening in case of hot water. Diffusion is definitely faster, right? Why is this happening? Because of course hot water has more energy, so they're moving faster. Now faster the speed, higher would be the rate of diffusion. So there you go. Hot water is winning the race of diffusion. Normal water. So where would normal water be? Alright, so what is happening is hot water, rate of diffusion would be the fastest, then normal water, and then cold water. Yes, Harry Potter. It does. To a very less extent, yes. Diffusion in solids is very difficult, it's very rare. But if in case they ask you this question, you will say yes. Absolutely right. So you could easily see that, as temperature increases, in a way, kinetic energy of the particles, they would increase and rate of diffusion would also increase. Any question based on this? I hope all of you will be able to answer. Yes? Great. All right. Now talking about the force. We know solids, we know liquids, we know gases. Now, the force of attraction in case of solids, you would notice that it's the maximum. It's, in a way more as compared to liquids. In liquids, it's more as compared to gases. And the order of interparticle space is just the opposite. It's just the reverse. In space, like if you talk in terms of space, interparticle spaces are maximum in case of gases, and it's decreasing as you go from gases to liquids to solids. See, obviously, if the force of attraction is more in case of solids, it would be very near. The interparticle space would be very less. Lowest attractive force, yes. Absolutely right, guys. Alright, so you know everything about matter. Whatever your textbook says, whatever is important from the exam point of view, you know about the definition, you know what's matter, what's not matter, characteristics pata hai, classification aapko pata hai. So this is something that you need to know about matter. Moving on to the next very important topic or subtopic, I would say, is the states of matter. Yes, Akshay, sponge is very soft because see, in case of sponge, you've got those air pores. Pores are there that are being filled with air. Now, when you compress it, it's the air that comes out. Yes. Now coming to the states. So we've got solids, gases, we've got liquids, and these are the states of matter that we have. They're very much interchangeable also. Now let's discuss the properties. A lot of questions based on the properties could be asked. When you see something like this, it's generally applicable. Okay, this is generally true. Exceptions are there, but generally solids, they have definite shape, liquids, no fixed shape, gases, no fixed shape. So just the solids have fixed shape. Coming to volume. Now solids and liquids, they have fixed volume, but gases तो बिल्कुल मस्त रहते हैं, बिल्कुल बिंदास रहते हैं. They have no fixed volume. Coming to compressibility. Now gases are highly compressible. Can you tell me one advantage of gases being highly compressible? Yes, Akshay. 5 states are there. CNG, Mona Lisa says CNG, Purnima says gases can be filled, easily stored. LPG, oxygen, yes, we've got LPG cylinders, CNG cylinders, oxygen cylinders. Because of compressibility of gases, they could be stored easily, they could be transported in large volumes. So correct, if they ask you about the advantages of gases being compressible, you know it all. And coming to rigidity, well, solids are rigid. See, it's the property due to which particles kind of remain fixed in their position. But that's not the case of liquid or gas. So if I spill a liquid, it's going to flow. It's a fluid. And gases, they keep flowing. Right, so they are also fluids. But अगर pen आपके हाथ में है, वो rigid है. Phone आपके हाथ में है, wherever you've kept your phone, it's going to stay there. It's not going to move here and there. That's not the case with water or say oxygen for that matter. Yes, see, exceptions are there. That's why I said generally. Alright, so clearly if they ask you about packing, you can have a look over here when we talk about solids. In solids, particles are closely packed. In case of liquids, you will notice that they are loosely packed. And in case of gases, they are very loosely packed. So yes, based on that, a lot of properties can actually be decided for matter. Yes, correct. बिल्कुल, प्लाज्मा भी है, बॉस आइंस्टाइन कंडेंसेट भी है. So you need to know about all these states of matter, the 3 states in detail with their properties. After that, the next very important thing in this chapter is, can matter change its states? Let's see. Let's take your vote. What do you think? Can matter change its state? Yes or no? बिल्कुल मासूम सा क्वेश्चन है, फटाफट से आंसर कर दो, बहुत इजी आंसर है. अक्षय ने तो आंसर दे भी दिया, पुष्पति ने भी दे दिया, वर्तिका has also given the answer. रीपू, शापायल, पुण्या, कार्बो, डैनी, आशा, जलीना, भारती, राधा, प्राची, दीपांशु, Saloni, all of you are saying yes, definitely they can, and we can change the physical state of matter by changing temperature and pressure. How? Let's see. Let's quickly recall all the processes in one go now. Say suppose you have any solid substance. Now when you heat it, it can be converted to liquid, and this process of converting solids into liquids, it's called melting or fusion. Important terms are coming up guys, बहुत important है. अगर आपको melting बोल रहे हैं या fusion बोल रहे हैं, confuse नहीं होना, they are the same. Okay. Now liquids can also be converted back to solids on cooling, and this process is known as solidification, or it can also be known as freezing. So melting, fusion is the same, solidification, freezing, it's the same. Vaporization नहीं आया अभी बच्चा. Solidification, yes, correct. Yes, freezing is also right. All right. Now, something that is, I think, a very common mistake that you people sometimes do. Melting point. So I'll write 2 terms over here. Melting and melting point. So one term is melting point, one term is melting. बच्चा melting जो है ना, that's a process. And melting point जो है, that's a temperature. A lot of you get confused when, if there's a 1 marker about the definition of melting point, you say it's a process. Melting process है. Melting point temperature. If you write process there, you lose marks. So understand this thing. Boiling process है, boiling point एक temperature है. Okay. So melting point, which is a temperature, it's the minimum temperature at which solid melts to become a liquid at atmospheric pressure. That is what is melting point. Atmospheric pressure, we all know it's force per unit area, right? That is exerted by atmosphere. Yes, melting point. See, that's why we say melting point of ice is 0 degrees Celsius. अगर हम ice को लेकर बोलते हैं कि उसका melting point 0 degrees Celsius, that's a temperature, right? That's not a process. Melting is a process. Now, this melting point actually it indicates the strength of force of attraction. So, this you have to remember, melting point, boiling point, they actually indicate the strength of force of attraction as well. Difference between boiling and evaporation, bacha, we'll come to this, don't worry. Another very important term in this chapter is the latent heat of fusion. Latent, basically, hidden heat hota hai, right? It's the heat energy that's required to change 1 kg of a solid into liquid. देखो, fusion की बात कर रहे हैं तो solid से liquid ही होगा. And the amount that we are taking is 1 kg. Heat energy required to change 1 kg of solid into liquid at atmospheric pressure at its melting point. Now you'll notice that when something is melting at certain point of time, the temperature remains constant, even though constant heat is being provided. Same happens when something is being boiled as well. There this latent heat plays role, because all the heat that we are supplying, it gets used up in changing the state of the substance. Yes, Arsh, I can read your comment. Yes, Kavita, we'll come to latent heat of vaporization, don't worry. Yes, Shapile, बिल्कुल सही. Yes, Ashaj. बिल्कुल solid से हम gas पे जा सकते हैं without coming to the liquid state. We'll come to that. Don't worry about that. All right, now I saw somebody was writing about vaporization as well. बिल्कुल critical temperature के बारे में पढ़ेंगे eventually, don't worry about that. All right, Nikhil. चलो बताओ. Now liquid to gas, what is this process called? फटाफट से in the comment section, what is this process called? Sublimation. Think again. Vaporization. Liquid to gas, okay? Vaporization, 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 vaporization. All right. Yes, this is called vaporization. So liquid, when it's being heated, it converts to vapor, that is vaporization, or gas. So gas can always be converted back to liquid on cooling, which is known as condensation. So similarly, we have another very important point, that is boiling point. You all know boiling point is a temperature, and you know boiling is a process. So boiling point, actually it's a temperature at which liquid starts boiling at atmospheric pressure. Again, this is also an indication of the strength of force of attraction. So suppose they give you two substances with two different boiling points. Now the one which has higher boiling point, that means that the force of attraction would be more in that case. So a lot of application based questions can be asked out of this. जब हम vaporization की बात करते हैं, it could actually mean that either we are talking about boiling or we are talking about evaporation. Yes, Saloni. When we talk about vaporization, it could be boiling also, it could be evaporation also. All right. So for water, it is 100 degrees Celsius or 373.15 Kelvin. That's the boiling point. Next, latent heat of vaporization. Now, latent heat of vaporization, just like fusion, we all know, it's the heat energy required to change 1 kg of a liquid into gas at atmospheric pressure at its boiling point. Say suppose I say latent heat of vaporization of water is 2 to 6 kilojoules per kilogram. What do you mean this? What do you think this means? Fatafat se. Let's see. चलो जल्दी से बताओ. क्या मतलब हुआ इसका? एग्जाम में 1 मार्कर आ सकता है ये. क्विकली गाइस. इवेपोरेशन क्यों लिख रहे हो यार? $226 किलो जूल्स पर किलोग्राम. इसका मीनिंग क्या हुआ? कंडेंसेशन कहां से आ गया? Latent heat of vaporization of water is 226 kilojoules per kilogram. That means how much amount of energy is being absorbed? It's 226 kilojoules of heat that is being absorbed to actually, convert 1 kilogram of water to water vapor. Of course, at atmospheric pressure at its boiling point. So mark this question important. This can definitely be asked as a 1 marker. They might give you the latent heat of vaporization value of any substance or latent heat of fusion value of any substance. Just mention that that's the amount of energy that's required to convert 1 kilogram of that substance. Correct. Yes, Vartika. All right. Yes. Now a lot of you are saying solids. I think Arsh was asking solids से directly gas जा सकते हैं कि नहीं? I want all of you to answer to this question. Like provide Arsh this answer. What do you think? Is it possible solids से directly gas without coming in the intermediate liquid state? Yes. Prachi says yes. Sublimation, correct. Yes. See, solid to directly vapor or gas on heating is known as sublimation. The reverse is also present. So, in a way we can, cool the vapors and get back the solid, which is known as deposition. Now in your book, only sublimation is mentioned, but to be very precise, when from vapors or gases we go back to solid, that is actually known as deposition. Yes, dry ice. Yes, Poona, that's the correct example. In fact, you can also mention naphthalene, you can mention iodine, you can mention ammonium chloride, anthracene, a lot of substances are there. Yes, Akshay, triple point के बारे में भी पढ़ेंगे. Don't worry about this. बिल्कुल पढ़ेंगे. Yes. You're welcome, Ashaj. Alright, now, guys, I want all of you to pay attention right now because I'm going to ask you something very important. I'll put a star mark here. Something very important that I'm going to ask you now. This is something that is definitely going to come in your exam. Okay? Question ये है कि what is the physical state of, say, water at different temperatures? Now, for water, we know the freezing point is 0 degrees Celsius and the boiling point is 100 degrees Celsius. This is the freezing point, this is the boiling point. Now, below the freezing point of any substance, may it be water, may it be anything, it will always be in the solid state. In between the freezing and boiling point, it will be in the liquid state. Beyond the boiling point, it will be in the vapor state. We all know that. But what about at the freezing point, at the melting point, or at the boiling point? At that point of time, two states coexist. So, at the freezing or melting point of a substance, you will have solid or liquid state. And at the boiling point, you will have liquid and gaseous state coexisting. Based on this, I want all of you to tell me, I'll remove everything and I'll write your answer. At 100 degrees Celsius, water exists in both gaseous and liquid state. Have you understood why this statement has been placed over here? Yes. Yes, dry ice is also known as solid carbon dioxide. True. Good, all of you. Now, I'll quickly tell you some temperatures and you will tell me the physical state of water at that temperature. Okay, minus 5 degrees Celsius. What's going to be the physical state of water? Minus 5 degrees Celsius. Is it going to be solid? Is it going to be liquid? Is it going to be gas? Solid, 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 solid. Correct. Okay. 25 degrees Celsius. You've told about minus 5 degrees Celsius. The next is 25 degrees Celsius. Hey Mukesh, I'll come to your question really soon when we'll discuss about evaporation. 25 degrees Celsius, liquid. Alright. What about 0 degrees Celsius? So at minus 5 degrees Celsius, you people said it's going to be solid. 25 degrees Celsius, you said liquid. 0 degrees Celsius. Chalo fatafat se, let's see who are the rock stars answering really quick. Gas? 0 degrees pe? Solid and liquid, Mayank says. Solid and liquid, Mukesh is also saying that. Nitika is also saying that. Yes, correct. So, at 0 degrees Celsius, it's going to be solid and liquid. Okay, 250 degrees Celsius. What about 250 degrees Celsius? I hope I'm not hiding it. 250 degrees Celsius. Solid hoga, liquid hoga, gas hoga, kya hoga? Vapor, correct. Correct, absolutely right. So, gaseous state for any substance. Alright, last one. I'll write it over here. 100 degrees Celsius. What is going to be the physical state? Now, we're talking with respect to water here. 100, फटाफट से बताओ. Liquid and vapor. Correct. So, you've understood this thing. Alright. Good. So, at 100 degrees Celsius, it's going to be liquid and vapor. Moving on to the next topic. That is conversion. We are talking about conversion. So, let's talk about the interparticle space as well. I hope you all remember this, by the way, that in solids, the spaces, they were negligible. In liquids, it's a bit more. And in gases, we have large spaces. And that's why we can actually compress gases, and gases are highly compressible. And I've already told you application based questions that can come out of this. Why, It's very useful for us. Yes, two states are coexisting because the conversion is taking place. Whatever energy you're providing, it's being used up to change the state first. Correct, Purnima. You remember CNG. Alright, so if I ask you how can we actually compress gas? We are saying it's highly compressible. How can we compress it? Chalo, fatafat say in the chat box, tell me. Hey Radha, we've discussed about sublimation. You'll have to quickly go back and watch the video. Yes, Kakul. So some class or the other for grade 9 would definitely happen every day. If not chemistry, it will be physics or maths or biology. Kuch na kuch chalta rahega. I see the answer right there by applying pressure, by increasing pressure. What about temperature? Temperature ko kya karenge? Pressure increase karenge, bilkul sahi. I'll put a smiley out there. Yes, Punya, correct. By decreasing temperature, you people are right. So by increasing pressure, decreasing temperature, you can actually liquefy gases. You can actually liquefy gases. Correct. All right. Now this is a question that's there in your NCERT as well. So solid to liquid, the process is fusion or melting. Liquid back to solid, it's solidification or freezing. Liquid to gas, vaporization. Gas to liquid, it's condensation. Solid directly to gas. Somebody was asking that. Sublimation and gas directly back to solid is deposition. They might not give you these in the exam and this might come as a 3 marker. So just imagine how easily you will get 3 marks. Or they might give you some and ask you for the rest. No, not at all. If you'll work hard, Prakhar, you will not find the exam very hard. So there you go, you know about the change of state. Now moving on to the next very important subtopic, that is evaporation. बहुत सारे questions बन सकते हैं बच्चा इस topic से. First of all, when we talk about evaporation, it's the change of liquid into vapor at any temperature below the boiling point. So if I ask you at 56 degrees Celsius or at 60 degrees Celsius or at 90 degrees Celsius, what's happening to water when we provide heat? It's evaporating, right? Now what's the difference between evaporation and boiling? Because see, in both, liquid is getting converted to gas. So this is one question. Hey, Kesar, that's okay. Yes, so let's understand this. Correct. Very good, Mayank. Very good, Punya. Good, Akshay. Yes, correct. So evaporation, it's a surface phenomena. See, surface particles have higher kinetic energy, right, as compared to the rest of the particles which are present in bulk. So evaporation takes place from the surface, basically at the surface of the liquid. Boiling, it's a bulk phenomena. That means it's happening throughout. Evaporation is happening at the surface, boiling is happening throughout. Now, evaporation does not produce bubbles, but boiling produces bubbles. When you know, a lot of you in the last session you were saying you eat Maggi and also when you boil water it produces bubbles. But evaporation में कोई bubbles produce नहीं होते. No, Mukesh, liquid, it's very difficult to compress a liquid. Okay, Rani, noted. You're welcome, Pranjal. Now, evaporation occurs at all the temperatures below the boiling point. That's very important. This is happening below the boiling point. But when we talk about boiling, it occurs at the boiling point of the substance, right? Another very important point is that when we talk about evaporation, it causes cooling effect, obviously, and that's not being observed in case of boiling. Now, talking more about evaporation, there are certain factors that can actually change the speed at which evaporation is taking place. Let's see who will quickly tell me all those points. The 4 factors. Fatafat se. Kaun se? Humidity, correct. What else? Temperature, surface area, wind speed. Good, all of you. So yes, increase in temperature. See, when we increase temperature, evaporation increases because now more number of particles will get the sufficient kinetic energy to convert to vapor. Next is surface area. When you increase surface area, evaporation increases because now more number of particles are exposed if you increase the surface. Next, humidity. When you increase humidity, evaporation decreases. See, humidity is the amount of water vapor that's present. If the amount of water vapor is already high in the air, then of course, rate of evaporation would be low. So here, you notice it's inversely proportional. Next, increase in wind speed. See, as wind speed increases, particles of water vapor, they move away with wind. In a way, evaporation increases. Yes. पावर शाइन वर्ल्ड कंडेंसेशन हो रहा है. Correct. Absolutely right. Now, I also said that evaporation causes cooling effect, right? So, a lot of questions can be asked based on this. See, when we talk about acetone or when we talk about petrol or perfume, they contain, in a way, volatile liquids. That means easily converted into the vapor form. Now, say suppose you have acetone on your palm. You've spilled acetone or you've put a drop over it. Now when this acetone, which is a volatile liquid, when it vaporizes, what happens? It takes heat from our palm. And that's why we feel cool. In a way, our palm is losing energy, right? Similarly, they can ask you questions based on earthen pots. So earthen pots, they have small pores through which evaporation constantly takes place. And we all know evaporation causes cooling effect, right? Or they can ask you what kind of clothes do we wear in summer? Well, we all know when we talk about cotton, it's a very good absorber of water or sweat, and then it exposes it for easy evaporation. As the sweat gets evaporated, as water gets evaporated, we feel that, it's causing a cooling effect. No, bacha. Not ignoring anyone. Some of the comments we read, some of the comments we miss by chance. Yes. Absolutely right. So, cotton clothes, why are they being, worn during summers? Hey, that's great, Akshay. Alright, so if you have understood all these important concepts, I want all of you to quickly hit the like button and give me a thumbs up here. Fatafat say, let me know if you've understood everything that we've discussed. So these are the topics that you just cannot miss. We've just sorted everything for you. We've put it in one single session so that you are able to revise everything in one go. Fatafat say, quickly hit the like button and give me a thumbs up here. Nitika ko sab samajh aaya. Well done, Nitika. Avani, Mayank, Mithun. Good, all of you. Ashaj, Purnima, Akshay, well done, guys. Because yes, we keep telling you we've got you covered. So, we really value the trust that you have, that you've shown always. We value the love and support that you keep giving us. And that's why we will keep coming up with amazing sessions for all of you to make sure that you people ace the exam. And guys, before I leave, before I close, don't forget to register for ANTHE. The link is right there in the description box. Go ahead and quickly register yourself. And yes, we are in a race right now. Race to ace the exam. Race to 100% in midterms. We have a plan for you. And if you feel that, following the plan kind of becomes difficult for you, don't worry. We are here to make sure that you follow the plan as well. We will be coming up with all kinds of sessions. So stay tuned. Subscribe kar lo fatafat se so that you do not miss any important session of ours. Good job, super. That is great. Good to know that. And yes, for the first 1,000 users, we have the mini learning program that's absolutely free. You just have to use the code YT first. So this has come back on your popular demand. You really wanted us to come back with this mini learning program because you've thoroughly enjoyed it the first time. So go ahead, book the classes according to your convenience, pick up the topics of your choice and experience superior learning and get wonderful results. Yes, Advay, you'll get the PPT on Telegram for sure. All right. Navneet Singh, ma'am, homework question दे दो. चलो एक homework question है आप सबके लिए. There is a homework question in the comment section. I want all of you to convert 25 degrees Celsius to Kelvin scale. Leave your answers. This is again a one marker that can come. They can change the value. It could be Celsius to Kelvin, Kelvin to degrees Celsius. कुछ भी पूछ सकते हैं. So I've given you 25 degrees Celsius. You have to convert it to Kelvin scale. I will wait for your answers. And I hope you've hit the like, share and subscribe button. Yes? That's great. Hey, don't post your answers here. You know, it'll get lost in the live chat. I will be waiting for your answers. I hope you can see this 25 degrees Celsius. Alright guys, keep working hard, keep smiling. Please remember to do the homework question. Post your answers in the comment section and I'll see you in the next class. Take care. Bye-bye.